You are listening to You and the Truth, where we will give you the truth face to face. Now, what you do with it is up to you.
Hi, and welcome to You and the Truth. I'm Rantin' Ralph with today's truth. So here we are a bit over 2 years into the Biden presidency, and people don't give a crap anymore if there was election fraud. Hell, why would they? They don't even care about what happened last week. I mean, they're too busy dodging yesterday's manure. So, has anything changed since bumbling Biden and hyena Harris took office in January of 2021? Well, let's see. On the international front, American soldiers were killed and citizens were left behind when we ran from Afghanistan with our tails between our legs, leaving behind billions of dollars in military equipment in the hands of that friendly foreign Boy Scout group, ISIS. Russia has invaded Ukraine, China is on the verge of invading Taiwan, and the world is on the brink of World War III. On the national front, the economy is in ruins. Inflation is at an all-time high. Banks are folding faster than a fast food drive-in service. Food prices have skyrocketed. There was no baby formula on half-empty grocery shelves for 2 years. Gas prices are untouchable, to the point that now might be the time to consider that bicycle or skateboard. The border's leaking worse than a 95-year-old bladder. We have a new radical left-wing loony in our Supreme Court. Crime is rampant. Murders and suicides are up. And the morons on Capitol Hill investigated the Capitol riots, but won't investigate election fraud. Probably because it'll cost them their jobs. Just a thought. Concerned parents have been labeled domestic terrorists. Kids are encouraged to disregard their genitals and choose their sex. Transgenderism is the new fad. Webster's is struggling to determine the new definition of woman, and men are not only thinking about replacing their penises with vaginas, but about getting pregnant, which is quite comical since us men can't even handle a common cold. And to top it off, the guy appointed to lead the free world is a senile, decrepit old man who has no idea who he is or what the hell's going on as he sits in his basement eating ice cream and watching reruns of 1980 soap operas. But folks, all is good because the lady in line to succeed him, if and when his handlers decide to replace him, is a giddy, inept bitch who, when asked a question she does not know the answer to, which is about 9.5 times out of 10, laughs like a hyena in heat, which is probably why they haven't locked bumbling Biden's basement door and thrown away the key. And all this, folks, in just over 24 months. I'm just brimming with anticipation to see what the next 2 years will bring. Other than that, everything is hunky-dory. Now, as all this is going on, lunatics continue to violently protest, causing chaos and swearing that the bumbler and the hyena are the greatest things to happen to this country since the invention of cream cheese. Which again is quite comical since we all know that we couldn't find cream cheese at our local grocery store for almost 2 years. And that leads us to today's truth. And that is that every one of those protesters out there is nothing more than a bully on steroids, folks. Crybabies who have to have it their way, or they scream, holler, scratch, kick, claw at anyone who gets in the face of their version of the truth. The same ones who burn other people's businesses and buildings, cars, properties, and threaten lives, while at the same time get offended if you don't address them by their personal set of pronouns. I call them bumbling Biden's backyard bullies. And if you notice, they always hang out in groups and wear masks. Now, folks, I'm not talking about COVID masks, but full face masks. Like the bank robbers wear. Now, my guess is that most of those biological males out there protesting are wearing masks because they don't have the balls to show their faces. Although it just occurred to me that most of them probably don't have balls. At least not anymore. They probably had them cut off and donated to their fellow protesters who were born with vaginas, but who wish they had balls. And to top it off, we have drag shows in schools and parents taking their kids to watch drag shows. Isn't that just peachy? This, of course, begs the question, where the hell are social services? The ones who are supposed to replace the police and make sure that parents don't abuse their children. But I guess nowadays taking your child to a bar isn't considered child abuse. At least not in bumbling Biden's backyard. Folks, this is out of control. And if we don't reel this in now, like good old Don Meredith used to say on Monday Night Football,
turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end.
yeah, folks, turn out the lights because the party's over. And that, folks, is the truth. What you do with it is up to you.
You have just come face to face with the truth. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you will be notified when we drop new episodes.